Hey everyone, KD Jones here. So now that we've got our ramps clean, we've got the bulbs separated from the leaves, there's a lot of obvious uses for the bulb of a ramp. But as for the leaves, if you try to look it up online, you'll find about 60,000 different variations of pretty much the same recipe for ramp pesto. Hopefully this video can show you a couple different options and inspire you to find your own way to use ramps in the kitchen.
To start out, you're going to put your ramps in a pot of boiling water for about 30 seconds until they're tender. Strain them directly into a bowl of ice water and get started on your other ingredients. We're going to slice a lemon and pull about half a bunch of parsley off of the stems. This is going to help with the bright flavors of the greens of the ramp. Once it's chilled, we're going to go into a blender with the strained ramp leaves. We're going to put lemon juice in and the parsley that we've removed from the stems. After that is salt and pepper. This is an ingredient and not a finished dish, so you want to be light-handed on the salt and pepper. Chances are you're going to have some trouble blending right out of the gate. I suggest just pulsing it until it gets going. Maybe you can add a little bit of water to help with the texture. You want something creamy and smooth like this. Now we've got our puree ready, we're going to get started on our ramp compound butter. I'm just peeling a little bit of lemon, getting the pith off of it. Tends to be a little bitter. And then I'm just going to julienne it so that way whenever you're eating the butter you get little bright bites of lemon zest and it looks really pretty in the final product. Next we're going to take a small handful of ramps. We're not going to do anything really fancy with them, just put a slice on them. Whenever you're mixing them in the mixer, it'll break them down a lot into the butter. We've got 2 sticks of butter in our mixer, the ramps, salt and pepper, and lemon zest. And you want to get it going on low speed until you see the butter starting to break down, and you can turn it up a little bit. You're going to have to scrape down 2 or 3 times during the process, but once you're finally whipped up to a creamy state, you can start drizzling in our ramp puree. You want to save about half of it for the next recipe. And that's about it for the ramp butter. This is great with shrimp. I've cut it and put it on steaks. I put it on top of burgers. You can make pastas with it. I mean, roasted vegetables. Just chop a little bit off and stir it into them. It's a really good garlic style butter that has very bright spring flavors that go with just about everything. For our next recipe, I'm going to show you a marinade for chicken breast and thighs that I did on the grill. We're going to start out with a lot of acid going in there. We've got lemon juice, orange juice, and lime juice, all 3 going in. A little bit of coconut sugar to sweeten it up. A glug of apple cider vinegar. And a little bit of olive oil. As always, go in with a good helping of salt and pepper. And after that we can go on to our chicken. But I forgot one thing. I have a special ingredient that I've been working on. The fermented hot sauce with habanero and garlic. So I'm going to take just a couple spoonfuls of that because I don't want it to get too crazy and put it on top of our chicken marinade. And it should help build the flavors on the grill a lot. If you get everything mixed together, we're going to get started prepping for the rice. You want to grate a small onion and a Roma tomato. And note how much you get after you're done grating them, because you want to make sure that you pull that out of your liquid for cooking your rice. For our rice we use chicken stock. We're going to use the ends of the onions that we grated and some Roma tomatoes and a little jalapeno and some avocado while we're prepping a salsa for the top of the chicken. I would call it a guacamole, but I'm not putting cilantro in it, and I'm not fully mushing the avocados, and I don't want the really particular people to come after me in the comments. So So you scoop your avocado out. You want to cut off any of the brown bits or pieces of skin you might have gotten. And we're just going to do a really rough chop on it because I want a nice chunky texture for on top of the chicken. After we're done mixing that together, we're going to toast some rice and go in with our tomatoes. Add some spices and our chicken stock, and we're going to cover it and let it go. Toasting some more spices for some chopped up squash that we have. Dumping in fire roasted tomatoes and jalapenos and a little bit of homemade crema that we had out on the counter. Outside on the grill, we're throwing down the chicken breasts and the thighs that we have marinated in our ramp mixture. Everything's starting to come together, and I'm getting really excited to eat dinner at this point. The ramp leaves gave the chicken a really sweet taste and a great texture that I was surprised of.
So we get it all plated up, and there we go. Hopefully this video inspired you to make some use out of your ramp greens instead of tossing them or making a big batch of ramp pesto like you do every year. The music that I used on this video was provided by the band Massing. They're a local band out of Huntington that did some really creative stuff to make ends meet during the beginning of the pandemic. I really suggest looking into them. They're some good friends of mine, and I'm really excited to be able to go see them live again, which actually is happening on Friday, the end of this week at Black Sheep in Huntington. Nonetheless, this video is about food. Go cook these recipes or something like them. If you do it, tag me online. As always, like and share the video. Give the Campbells Creek Garden Project a like on Facebook. And subscribe.